2 minutes.
I thank the gentlelady for yielding. Mr. Speaker, as a legislative body, one of Congress's core responsibilities is to keep the government open and working for the people. Another core responsibility is to help communities that are struck by disaster to recover and rebuild. The continuing resolution before us is not a sufficient response to these vital needs. It includes only token disaster relief for rural communities and farmers in middle and southwest Georgia that were devastated by Hurricane Michael and other disasters that occurred in 2018. It does not include a number of provisions that were being negotiated. It includes only $8 million for impacted rural communities instead of $150 million. It does not change the percentage of recovery of crop losses from 85% to those with crop insurance to 90%, and from 65% for those without crop insurance to 70%. It includes less than half of the estimated need for the Emergency Forest Restoration Program, $200 million instead of $480 million. It does not include the lower threshold for pecan tree mortality to 7.5%, but it leaves it at the current level of 15%, which is totally inadequate. It does not include the most recent estimate for the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands disaster, nutrition, which is $8.5 million instead of $9.3 million. And finally, it does not include any of the $600 million for Puerto Rico nutrition assistance. Unfortunately, it does include significant funding for a misguided and wasteful wall on our southwestern border. This wall will do nothing to improve our nation's security and is a serious misallocation of taxpayer dollars. It should have been stripped from this important funding legislation and considered separately. Furthermore, this legislation is dead on arrival in the Senate. We must do better. We must meet the significant needs of my Georgia constituents and Americans across the country that are still rebuilding from Hurricane Michael. And we must pass a government bill that would avoid the damage caused by government shutdown. I urge my colleagues to reject this bill.
The gentleman's time has expired. The gentleman from New York reserves. The gentleman from New Jersey.